All right, welcome to day two Asset Mega Bundle. I will kick it off by introducing Frank Alonso, our CEO.
Yeah, thanks for the intro, Steve. And yes, this is launch week. TransferThought is a no-code platform for building VR training. If you can build a PowerPoint, you can create VR training with TransferThought. And as we said, we are officially launched. TransferThought 1.0 is out. So you can check out the status of the launch at transferthought.com/launch week. And you can check out day one here. We're on day two now. And today we're going to be looking at the Asset Mega Bundle. We have filled TransferThought with lots of ready-made assets. So if you don't have 360 or VR content, you can start making something right away. And so I guess with that lead up, maybe I'll pass it to Keenan and we can just get right into looking at some of the things that are possible now.
Yeah, thanks, Frank. Let me pull up the 1.0. So I am launched into 1.0, and I'm just on kind of a new TransferThought here. Yeah, just a little backstory about the kind of the Asset Mega Bundle was that we've talked to a lot of people interested in building VR, and the thing that it kind of comes down to is that there is no way to get started quickly without getting VR assets. So we kind of prioritized that and got hundreds, I don't know, how many would you say, Frank? Hundreds of, maybe thousands of different environments, photos to get you set up and started.
Yeah, right now there's 1,500 computer generated environments across a variety of settings that you can jump into. Now, my recommendation is still going to be like get a 360 camera, take pictures of an actual site, but there's lots of situations where that might not be possible. Maybe it's too hazardous to go into a certain location to get a photo. Maybe maybe there's a privacy concerns, like if it's a nuclear facility, you can't take photos there. So these CGI photos will give you a bank to get started. You can also create your training with these and then always replace these computer generated photos with your live photos later. So yeah, we're starting out in this virtual bar brewery type environment, but we can look at some of the other ones.
Yeah, so I'll just jump in here. These are all the TransferThought uploads. So we've got coal mine, coffee shop, just to kind of go through kind of the range of environments. And construction site, I think, is going to be kind of a big one for the safety and construction industry. So here, there's more than just kind of one location. It's going to be a whole construction site. So you could probably use these environments for, 10 or 20 different types of trainings. Think
right. This is a one cohesive space here. So you could kind of do a walkthrough of the construction site and do like general hazard awareness where you're calling out different things on the site. So why don't we just throw one of these pictures just so they can see what one of these looks like.
Yep. So now we're kind of plopped into this setting right here. So if you were doing a walkthrough or something about a machine like this, you'd have this environment. But kind of as Frank was saying, we could also set up another one and have them look at another part of this one cohesive. I think this might be even a different machine.
And you know what, the thing I want to add about this is the asset bundle for TransferThought 1.0, but with these 1,500 images, and we're going to look at some of the other assets besides environments in a minute. But this is the starting place, and with this capability of creating computer-generated imagery, we kind of invite our users to request new images, new environments as needed. So we can, make this tool, TransferThought, like a magic wand that, if you have an idea for something, you want to transport someone to a location to do some sort of training, you can do that.
Yeah, so that's the environment. So there's
So it was like a logistics warehouse type environment.
exactly. Yeah. So if you're doing a warehouse training, something along those lines, you could do this and then later put in your own work site, but you could build the training right away without having to need any other environment or any other assets.
Yeah, this environment would probably be good for potentially like forklift training, pedestrian awareness,
It's onboarding to to maybe not to this work site, but you could start the training in this work site.
yeah, even just processes and things like that. And then so that we've seen construction, we've seen industrial, we have a few like food safety ones as well we could pull up. Maybe the fast food one is fun. Yes, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming and joining us for this launch week. Like Steve said, if you have any questions, feel free to jump in. We'll also save some time at the end.
This is the burger night.
Yeah, this is right outside the store, and you can walk through the kitchen as well. Right.
Yeah.
So this would be an easy way to get started without using a 360 camera, but you could always take actual photos of an actual restaurant to have it match up, and then it would be photorealistic.
Yeah, and here's like a food safety you could start. Yeah, so these would be the environment, and this would be something that you can set and kind of transport a trainee to this environment. This is kind of like a snapshot where you could set up hazards defined, things like that. But just to like add more to the scene, some of the other things that we're launching are you can add in cutouts of people. We'll just take a look at a few of these. So something like a pedestrian you could do, and you can always search for these, but there's a ton of cutouts there for you to use. And if you wanted to add a little bit of movements, we also are launching our TransferThought 1.0 character sets. So these were added as a way to add movement to the scene and kind of interact with people. And actually we'll be going deeper dive into that tomorrow. But just for today, you can set people in here and be able to interact with them, as part of the training as well.
Yeah, and these characters are going to be our first set of avatars. One of the things we wanted to do with this first rollout of avatars was have them be the most accessible. So I don't know, some people you might think these aren't the most photorealistic avatars, but the key to these is that they're highly performant and could load very quickly across all devices and work on, from mobile to a VR headset. I saw a question from Cindy. Thanks for joining us. That camera, looks like you're asking about the iGuide camera, that looks like that should work to take the 360 photos that you could use for environments. So yeah, ultimately they just need to be in equirectangular format. That one looks like it works well. There's other cameras would be like the Ricoh Theta. There's the Insta360 cameras. But yeah, basically any 360 camera, the photo that it takes can be imported into the system. Oh, this is one of those photorealistic options.
Yeah,
And so if you take a photo, you can just drag it into that area, drop your files here, and then it's accessible in your library.
right. Yeah. So just wanted to add this in there so you can see these environments can get you started, and I think they look pretty good to go. But as Frank was mentioning earlier, we do still recommend using the photorealistic of your worksite. Yeah, let me I was adding in the photos and the avatar. So as part of this also asset launch, one thing that kind of also launching is being able to add in, text to describe the environment, things like that are, I think, just they're not anything to be wowed by, I don't think, but almost like one of those features that is just kind of expected to be in there. So you can be able to label things and kind of show where like this tank, for example. I don't know the exact tank, but you can kind of label it in real space. So if you're
But
doing
the important thing here is that without taking any of these photos into Photoshop or anything, you can augment them with things like labels, animated avatars, image cutouts, and it's just a smooth and quick process. And it's also different than Photoshop because you can edit it later. It's live. It's not just baked in to the image.
just throwing in some there we go.
Nice.
So then the other exciting thing about adding this is to kind of develop like a better environment for the trainees, is adding audio or like background music or kind of setting the stage for the training. So we have like again, another 1,000, 1,500, maybe even more audio sounds to kind of link in there. And again, you can always upload your own. Maybe this would be a good one to add in some like people working on a machine in the background to really give that like realness of the environment. Or if you're doing a training where something could go wrong and explode, you could always have an explosion noise to give that feeling of presence.
Michelle just asked, can you add the avatars into these self-taken photorealistic environments? And yes, we would be able to throw one of these virtual avatars directly into here.
So yeah, if
and you could add a label on him.
there we go. Yeah, so that's one way to add some movement. And tomorrow we'll be doing a deeper dive into all the things that you can do with the avatars and more advanced interactions with everything in the scene.
Can you create your own avatar? There are ways to do that. We don't have like a built-in way for you to just like upload a photo and have it turn into an avatar, but that is possible. That's a fun idea, I think. So for today, the way we would do that is you could reach out to us and we could support you through that process. Otherwise, you are able to upload your own assets into here if you already had that model or already had a defined process to do that. And you were showing the sound effects. So we'll be going into like other creative ways to use those, but those can be like feedback that happens when you do something. Like you find something you want to maybe play a noise, or like there was mechanical noises. Let's say you click on something to fix it, then play a little wrench noise to add more satisfaction to the VR experience. Another thing that with the sound effects was adding music. You can add background music if you want to set a tone to the experience, or I guess implicit in that is changing the tone. If you want to start with calm music and then some sort of emergency happens and change the kind of to a higher beats per minute music to emphasize the urgency of this situation that you're trying to simulate. So yeah, that's sound effects. So we have avatars, but you can also add, like we have 3D avatars, but we also have image cutouts of people. And so if you just want, oh, you're pulling up convenience store is a good one. Like you could throw someone, a customer in that store, basically. The horse, I don't know.
I always
Order. Oh, that's a good one. Here's your dealing with a difficult customer. What to do if that guy. What is it? He has like a spoon and is on a cell phone.
Yeah, I think that's yeah.
So these would be not animated, but they can add some liveliness to the scene. Those image props. We'll be adding these are another thing that you can easily request or add to the system yourself if you have like flat images. You can add these and it easily augment the scene. For example, a situation could be like a fire or hazards that you don't want to actually take a photo of, or they don't exist, like say in the construction site environment. You can add you can augment the scene with those. A good example was with some of the vehicles we've added, like broken glass is a hazard that someone should be able to identify. And we didn't have a photo of like a bulldozer with a broken windshield, but we can easily add a crack to the windshield.
And yeah, to add to the other question about the avatars, being able to create your own for those like animatable avatars. This would be another option, is doing like cutouts, which drastically reduces like the complexity. So it would just be, you just take a picture of a trainer or a trainee or anyone that you want to put in the scene. And then you just remove the background, in which we can help with that. And then you could put them in that way. They won't be animated, but it can also, it's an easy way to add to the experience.
That's a great idea, Kenan. My mind goes to the like, let's map the photo onto a 3D model. But yeah, if you want that person in the scene, actually, if you have an iPhone, it's very easy. If you take a photo, you can click and hold on the person to just get the cutout, and you could upload that cutout into the system and have, that actual instructor in these environments, following the person from scene to scene, or even for fun, make a Where's Waldo with that instructor where they have to find them through as they walk through this construction site. In that, yeah, if you just did the cutout, then they we're gonna look at the movement a little bit tomorrow. There would be ways to have them move, but they wouldn't be animated. Right now you can't upload a like a video cutout. That is on the roadmap to be able to upload video cutouts of someone that's in front of a green screen. But you could have them animate kind of like, well, maybe how you would in PowerPoint or something, where they fly across the screen. You setting it up just to
yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to save stuff for the next days. Well, yeah, with that's the new asset mega bundle. So we wanted to make it a lot easier for anyone to jump in and play with this and make stuff of value, even on the free tier without having a camera or any assets. You should be able to build training that delivers value. So yeah, with that, if anyone has any questions.
I'll add one thing to that with just because yesterday we kind of went through a little bit of an overview. That's kind of more of a deep dive. Everything too is also being updated to a new documentation site. So a lot of things will be adding more to this, but a lot of kind of what we're launching will be in here. So this might be a good spot to kind of explore if you do have any questions, if you're in there wondering. But we're also always free to hop on a call, to kind of answer any questions or answer an email or anything that's easiest. But if you are curious about what else is in there, there's some kind of documentation with pictures and stuff, so you can kind of see it all being used. And I got to there just through there's this little help link in here.
Thank you for joining us for day 2, the Asset Mega Bundle. We'll see you again on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern.